And this is one thing that a lot of people said they voted for Trump on. Oh, he said he was going to lower this, lower that. He ain't did nothing, and it don't sound like he can do nothing. And he already said he had a concept of a plan. I mean, I'm sure that applied to a lot of things more than just the health care. So this man just ran to stay out of jail. That's it.
Democrats have repeatedly made clear that we will work with anyone to make life better for the American people, particularly as it relates to driving down the high cost of living for everyday Americans. But at the same time, we will push back against far-right extremism whenever necessary, and we will not participate in Republican efforts to rip off hard-working American taxpayers. Republicans now control the House, the Senate, and the presidency. They have complete control of government. They promised to lower the high cost of living, but have done nothing to lower costs in the United States of America. Nothing. The tariffs that are wide-ranging and have been imposed or threatened on our North American allies will not lower costs on hardworking American taxpayers. They will raise them. Life is already too expensive in the United States of America. Housing costs are too high, grocery costs are too high, insurance costs are too high, childcare costs are too high. Life is already too expensive here in the United States of America. The tariffs that have been imposed or threatened will raise the cost of food in America, raise gas prices in America, raise the cost of purchasing a car in the United States of America, and place a burden on the quality of life for working class Americans, middle class Americans, and everyday Americans. Why is this all happening? What is this Republican ripoff all about? Why are they constantly trying to steal taxpayer money from the American people? At the end of the day, Republicans in Washington are not interested in lowering the high cost of living in the United States of America. That's why they've done nothing to lower costs. What Republicans in Washington want to do is pass massive tax cuts for their billionaire donors and wealthy corporations, and then stick everyday Americans with the bill. And that is not something that House Democrats will ever support.
Hey everybody, it's your boy Gabriel back with another episode of the Reality and Denial Show. This show focuses on uncovering the truth about racism in America, white privilege, systemic inequality, basically sharing the black experience in a society that still deals with racism today. I'm back with another video. It's of my boy Hakeem Jeffries, Representative Hakeem Jeffries. So he just had a press conference, y'all, and you know, he basically letting us know that MAGA still ain't did nothing. Trump still ain't did nothing. I mean, Trump did a whole lot of buffoonery, I'll tell you that. But they still ain't did nothing for the American people. And all the promises and things that he made on his campaign when he was running before the inauguration and election, he ain't held up to a lot of that. The only thing he probably did was, you know, pardon all those white supremacists and racists and things from January 6th and the mass deportation. I mean, come on now. I mean, that's a whole nother situation because they trying to deport legal people too. Make it make sense. So they really ain't did nothing about how his promise to lower the cost of living, lower the cost of groceries. I mean, he ain't held up to nothing, ain't did nothing on that. But he wants to get us in these tariff trade wars and things like that. So now they're kind of backtracking, him and JD Vance and everything, and saying, "Oh, it's gonna take a while." Da da da. You know, it's just trying to string the people on. They ain't doing nothing to help lower the cost, but they are. I mean, they have a mandate that they are giving those tax breaks and tax cuts to the wealthy, the billionaires, the rich, the well off, and then they want to bring that on down to the working class and lower class citizens and make us have to pay higher, you know, and things like that. So it's just not making any sense. And this is one thing that a lot of people said they voted for Trump on. Oh, he said he was gonna lower this, lower that. He ain't did nothing, and it don't sound like he can do nothing. And he already said he had a concept of a plan. I mean, I'm sure that applied to a lot of things more than just the health care. So this man just ran to stay out of jail. That's it. You know, and y'all was foolish enough to put him back in there. So you know, I'm glad that Hakeem Jeffries is stepping up and staying in the news and keep putting it out there that this man is not holding up to his promises, letting people know that the Democrats are here and we're ready to work. We're ready to work with you and make things happen, but y'all ain't even trying to focus on that, you know, because you too busy attacking every single person. And what I mean by that, they're attacking the black people, they're attacking the LGBTQ trans community, they're attacking the immigrants, the women. I mean, DEI. I mean, everything. I mean, everything's just backwards right now. So I'm glad that we are staying in the news and keeping everybody informed to say, hey, we're here and we're ready, and we're trying to hold Trump accountable to say, hey, let's protect our border, let's lower the cost of living for the American people. But they're not wanting to do that because they're only focused on their agenda right now, their right wing agenda, and that's it. Hakeem Jeffries also talked about the Doge, which Jasmine just did. Don't nobody know what Doge is. The Doge committee, like Hakeem Jeffries stated, also that ain't nothing but another scheme, a committee scheme to try to uphold Trump's agenda. Because now that they got access to those budgets and Social Security numbers and budgets and all of that, for that, no telling what they need that information for. But I'm sure we can figure out why, you know, because it's co-president Musk, and anything he want he gets. So them bought him a position up there. So I just wanted to come to y'all. Y'all know my boy Hakeem Jeffries. I appreciate him as well. We need more fighters like Jasmine Crockett, Hakeem Jeffries, and many, many more in Congress now stepping up, staying in the news, fighting. So y'all comment on the video. Let me know what y'all think, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.
Questions?
It's not something House Democrats will support, but what leverage do you have? And I'm going to ask you separately a question about Doge too.
As we've indicated in a variety of different ways, we have a legislative process. Republicans have a narrow majority in the House, and we are ready, willing, and able to work with them, our Republican colleagues, to improve the quality of life for everyday Americans. We will not participate in a Republican ripoff that steals taxpayer money from the American people. We will support and protect and defend Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, veterans benefits, nutritional assistance to children and families in America, and the things that matter to the quality of life of hardworking American taxpayers. And we want to find common ground. If there was interest in doing the things that matter, like driving down the high cost of living in America, Republicans have no interest in doing that. The American people, at the end of the day, will hold them accountable.
Should Democrats still be a part of the Doge subcommittee, the Doge caucus, considering the elimination of USAID?
I have not had a conversation with Ranking Member Jerry Connolly about the DOJ subcommittee on the House Oversight Committee, but it's a conversation that we should have. It's not clear to me, or anyone who's reasonably looking at the attack on the federal workforce, the attack on the federal government, and the attack on hardworking American taxpayers, that this so-called DOJ effort is anything other than a part of the scheme to reward billionaire donors and wealthy corporations, and to make hard-working American taxpayers pay for it and suffer the pain.
Given Democrats have lost control of the entire government, can you outline the plan for the next at least 2 years? What is your path forward here?
Republicans did control the House in the last Congress. Democrats did gain seats in the House of Representatives. We're still short of a majority, but Republicans hold the narrowest majority of any party since the Great Depression. They are incapable, it appears, of governing on their own because they're in the midst of a GOP civil war with extreme parts of the House Republican Conference battling the far right extreme parts of the House Republican Conference as it relates to the nature of the Medicaid cuts that they want to impose on the American people and the size of the tax breaks that they want to hand over to the wealthy, well-off, and well-connected in America. It's not clear that House Republicans are capable of actually governing on their own, which is why we've made clear that we are ready, willing, and able to work with anyone to get the things done that the American people want to happen, which include driving down the high cost of living, securing the border, and keeping communities safe. We are ready to work with our Republican colleagues, but they have to stop doing the bidding of their billionaire buddies.
It's about info. Do you think the tariffs will be a breaking point for some Republicans who represent districts maybe closer to the border, whose economies are integrated with Canada, that rely on Canadian business? Have you had conversations with those kinds of representatives who are concerned?
Tariffs can be used as an effective tool when they are surgically applied to push back against unfair competition from our adversaries. In this particular situation, the administration has imposed or threatened wide-ranging tariffs on our allies in North America. And by doing it in such a ham-handed fashion, we've already seen that the stock market has had an adverse reaction. And as a result, the retirement security of everyday Americans has been threatened. There's a risk that the economy will take a turn for the worse, and prices are going to be jacked up on hardworking American taxpayers. Those are consequences that will be felt by people all across the country, Democrats, Republicans, and independents alike. And it is certainly our hope that some of our Republican colleagues will stand up in defense of the people that they were elected to represent, and not simply their billionaire donors.
Are
Second row.
Democrats willing to shut down the government if Trump continues to threaten abolishing agencies or cutting funds to programs like Medicaid?
The appropriations process is ongoing. It is being led by Rosa DeLauro on the House Democratic side, and it's our hope to find bipartisan agreement to fund the government to meet the needs of the American people and to protect things like Medicaid, veterans benefits, and nutritional assistance for children and families in this country.
It's been about a week since a number of federal agencies have been enacting arrests around the New York City area and beyond. Have you been in touch with Immigration Customs Enforcement? Have they told you how many arrests they've done? And what is your message to immigrant communities right now? We're on edge given these arrests. Have you been criticized from the left of not really having a coherent message around that issue?
As Democrats, we are going to continue to make sure that the immigrant communities that we represent are heard, seen, and treated with dignity and respect. We've also made clear that we are prepared to work with our colleagues on the other side of the aisle to secure the border. America deserves a safe, a strong, and a secure border, and to fix our broken immigration system in a bipartisan and comprehensive way. At the same time, we must defend and protect dreamers, farm workers, and families from any effort to criminalize them. That's exactly what Democrats will continue to do at this moment and at any moment moving forward.
Have you been briefed at all about the ICE activity in the past week?
I have not had any communication with the Department of Homeland Security. Next question.
Can you talk a little bit about the new DNC chair and what kind of vision he's laid out to you guys?
I had a good conversation with Chairman Martin a few days ago, and House Democrats were looking forward to working with him, as well as our colleagues in the Senate and governors all across the country, to make sure that we are speaking in one voice, articulating a clear vision for the American people, and our commitment to getting things done, to delivering, to making life better for the American people, to fixing the broken American dream that is a reality for far too many people in the communities that I represent here in Brooklyn and all across the country. When you work hard and play by the rules in America, you should be able to provide a comfortable living for yourself, for your family, educate your children, purchase a home, go on vacation every now and then, one day retire with grace and dignity. That's the American dream for far too many people in this country. It's broken. Democrats are determined to fix it. Thank you, everyone.